This is Dot. I play Binary on Resting Glitchface. Come check us out on all your major podcatchers. But now, you're listening to Redemption.
This is Redemption, an actual play podcast set in the Star Wars role-playing game system, with Chris Burlew as the GM, and also the droids 11D4 and R3A1.
Are you the captain?
Andi Fox as the Bothan negotiator, Quinth.
It's only a failure if you don't learn from it, or if you die.
Kaylee Jung as the Jedi, Karrell.
It's Blurple. Blurple is the color you're talking about.
And Michael Waldschlager II as the Duros pilot, Tazi.
Oh, okay, you say tubular starched vessel, I say tubular starched vessel.
Episode 810, Epilogue. After a vicious fight on the desert planet of FLORUM, the crew retreat to the ship and slip back into hyperspace. Blasted and bruised, but still alive, the crew have to decide where do they go from there.
Shall we roll Destiny?
Sure. One dark side.
Two light side.
Two light side.
One light side.
All right. We open up with the crew on the ship in hyperspace. D4 has been patching up Tazi. May I ask a question?
Yeah. Watch it. Just concentrate, okay? I only have one of those.
I thought it might be prudent before this becomes a discussion amongst the crew. Now that we are back on your ship, are you the captain?
Well, technically the ship still belongs to Karrell. I did transfer a title.
I mean, we didn't sign any actual paperwork. You just said, you take the Fang. And I said, but it's still your ship and I will come back. So here, we're back. And you know what? If it's going to be a contentious thing, we can both own the ship. Although technically, I think A1 has best legal claim because he is the ship.
I mean, if we want to really go down that route, I guess we could, fight this out in court, but I don't think anybody wants to do that.
Well,
so,
especially not with the Empire in charge. That would be very silly of us.
Karrell, if you don't need the Fang anymore, I'll take it back. But if you still need it, I'm happy to fly for you.
Might I make a point of order? Ownership does not mean captainship. Many owners hire people to be captain. My question is, who is captain? Not who is the owner.
Tazi.
Sure.
Why wouldn't he be? Oh, I remember now. Sorry, Quinth. I forgot that you guys you did swappy things, and on your ship you were captain. And wait, where is Quinth anyway?
She's in the back with her daughter.
Okay. Are they okay? Do they need anything? Can you tell?
They seem to be discussing what has happened.
Karrell, go check on them. D4's got me. I'm fine. Ow! Watch it.
Don't look fine. I gotta change out of this armor. It's a little loose now, so it's chafing in a couple of places. I'll go do that, and then I'll check on Quinth.
That's fine. Use a little desiccant powder. That'll help with the chafing.
That's a good. Okay, thank you, Tazi. I got it from here. Thank you. And Karrell heads back to her quarters.
D4 is finishing up with Tazi. So, if the two of you have voted yes, I would vote yes. Ship A1, how do you vote?
I'm fine with Tazi being in charge again.
Perhaps we should ask the other A1.
I mean, I think it does need to be unanimous. I mean, I really feel like we should at least make sure everybody's on board with this before we just go ahead and say it.
Very well. I will go find him. And D4 heads towards the back.
Wait, are you done? Am I done?
Yes. You are stable and healing. There is not much more I can do.
Should I stay here? I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here for a minute or a couple.
Very well. And D4 continues walking away. Cut over a couple minutes later as Karrell's walking in on Quinth and Yara. What does it look like when Karrell walks in?
They've probably finished, the sobbing part of this event, and they're probably still on the floor, just hugging.
Karrell walks down the hall from her quarters and kind of stops and looks around the corner to see you guys. And she catches your eye, and you can tell, with her expression, she's asking permission to see if you guys are okay or if you need a little more time.
Quinth will just nod with her head that it's okay for Karrell to do whatever she's doing. And will kind of lift up Yara and take them to the seats that are nearby.
You could go into the common area. It's much more comfortable there. We probably need to get her something to drink. She's probably dehydrated. And you both are crying. You're both probably very dehydrated.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on. Did D4 check both of you? Are either of you hurt?
Quinth looks at Yara, and Yara looks at Quinth. Are you okay, Yara?
She nods her head. They were not mean to me
Okay.
or cruel.
At least that's something. I'm fine.
Okay. Let's go into the common area. You guys can sit on the couches, and I'll get you guys something to drink, and we can talk and figure out where we go from here. Tazi's in the med bay. D4's poking at him. Okay, there went D4. D4's done poking at him. I don't know where he's going, but we should probably have a talk about what's going on. And we kind of all shuffle into the common room. And Karrell grabs a couple, like bottles of water and hands one to Yara and hands one to Quinth and sits down across the table from them.
Yara drinks it.
Yeah, Quinth will also drink water. That seems like a good idea.
Okay, what do you want to do from here? Yara, is there someplace we need to take you back to, or?
Really can't go home. There is no home. I don't know where to go. I thought I was doing everything right.
Again, there's that unspoken communication as Karrell looks at Quinth with an expression that basically says, help?
I think we should head back to Bothan.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you probably have some family there or something that Yara can stay with. We'll get you guys back there and we'll spend some time there before we figure out what we're doing next. That's mid-rim. We should be safe there as long as the Empire's not there, which, really hopefully not. So
we're neutral as usual, technically.
Yeah, I don't think that matters anymore. Not the way the Empire's going. The Emperor is really, really out to control everything.
That feels bad.
Yeah.
Emotion is happening, and Quinth waves her hand around like she's trying to find words, and her face shows a bunch of different expressions, but nothing comes out.
All right, you know what? You guys just stay here and get hydrated. I will go talk to... That's right. Okay, this is not the best time for this, but D4 had a question, and it was about... this is really a bad time. I'm sure it is. Are you okay with Tazi being the captain, since it's kind of technically his ship, and it's a little my ship, and it's a little A1 ship, but are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was definitely a bad time for that. I apologize. I'm going to go, and you let us know when you guys are okay, and we'll all talk some more. And Karrell's saying this, and she's backing out of the room. She kind of bumps into a chair. We'll take it slow. It's no problem. You guys take time. And then she ducks out of the room, shutting the door behind her.
So that's Karrell.
Yeah.
She's a Jedi, if you couldn't tell.
She seems nice.
Yeah, I think she is.
I'm sorry. I was trying to just get information from him, and I don't know how he figured out who I am.
There is always going to be someone who is stronger than you, or smarter than you, or better connected than you. And we just have to deal with that as that comes. I'm just glad that we were here. And I'm sorry that I haven't always been there.
She puts her hand on Quinth's hand. What do we do now? I can't go back to Spynet. I failed.
Oh, little one. It's only a failure if you don't learn from it. Or if you die.
I almost got you and your friends killed.
Yeah, well... I mean, take a number. I'm sure that club has jackets. We can go back to the family, and we can see what's happening there. It's been some bad stuff happening recently, and I'm sure that more than one higher up in Spynet is no longer part of us. So we should go back and rally and see what we can do.
Are you saying somebody gave me up?
I don't know. But if that's what happened, they are going to wish that they had never heard our family name.
She stops, kind of turns away from you. You said we.
I'm coming back too.
With that, Yara throws her arms around your neck and buries her head in your shoulder and just sobs. Thank you.
I'm sorry. And I guess I'm just going to be searching for a little redemption along the way.
So we cut over to the back area, and we see A1 is in what used to be his workshop, and he's facing the wall, and D4 walks up to him and,
What are you doing?
this two of me thing is not going to work, because we're already arguing about things. Like, why is my workshop a mess?
It's not a mess. That's just how Karrell left it. I tried to tell her not to, but you know how she is.
I'm going to plug in. We're going to stop this two-person thing. You're going to get in me. We're going to be one. And that's the end.
No. I think you should get in me.
I think merging into one makes sense, but perhaps it should be in the droid body.
I agree. It's unanimous. And plugs in. And we see him spinning away for a while. And then D4 turns and starts walking out and then stops.
Oh, by the way, we are taking a vote. Should Tazi be the captain?
Of course. No brainer.
No brainer. And then D4 walks out.
So we cut over, and Karrell's walking into the med bay and sees Tazi kind of laying in the bed. Tazi, are you awake?
Yeah, just enjoying a little bit of quiet before I left the med bay.
Okay, well, good news. You've been voted captain, or bad news, depending on how you want to look at it.
I mean, it's I'm happy to take the mantle again, I suppose.
Yeah, and I think we're actually taking Yara to Batawai.
Oh, okay. You say tubular starched vessel. I say tubular starched vessel.
No, the planet.
Yeah, Bothawi.
Batawai. You have a weird accent suddenly. I don't understand. Yes, the planet where the Bothans are.
Yeah, Bothawi.
Batawai.
I've never had that before. What is it?
Tazi, I'm gonna thump you.
No, don't. I'd say, you know what it might be. D4 gave me a few injections of some things to help me through the healing process.
And make you mispronounce things. I get it.
It may be a little bit of that. Maybe I should lay back down again. A1's got a course. We're on course, right?
Well, yeah, we're heading back to Kolak to pick up the shuttle.
Yes, if we're heading back to Kolak, I'm just gonna lay back down for a little bit.
Okay, why don't you not take up the mantle of captain quite yet? I'll get us to Kolak. We'll get the shuttle. You get some rest.
I'm seeing,
and then we'll jump back into hyperspace.
That's cool. I'm seeing 3 of you, and only 2 of you are the right color.
Is one of them red shifted and the other one's much bluer?
No, it's a color I don't have a word for.
It's Blurple. Blurple is the color you're talking about.
Blurple is pretty close, I think.
Okay, when it gets to light Blurple, you definitely should lie down because you're going to pass out. I will go.
No, I'm just gonna lie down anyway.
Okay, well, you're already lie down. Remember, I'm leaning over you right now. That's why you
I
see
didn't
me
sit
at
up.
this angle.
I'm not sitting up right now.
No, you're not. That's a pillow behind you. Just keep laying down. You're doing great. You're doing great with the laying down thing. I'm going to go co-captain until you're ready to take up the mantle. You stay here.
All right. But there's no fireplace in here. We don't have a mantle.
Karrell just turns and walks out. We cut to like a scene of the ship dropping out of hyperspace, and we see the shuttle come up and dock with the Kralit's Fang, and then it turns and jets back into hyperspace.
As the shuttle docks with the Kralit's Fang, we cut over to D4 in the cockpit with Karrell.
Well, what is our plan from here?
Well, it appears that Quinth wants us to take Yara back to Batawai, so we're going to do that, and then we'll figure out what's going on. I mean, we can talk about it once they're done having emotions and things, and when Tazi's awake. But right now, I just kind of want to let them rest, and we can take care of things here. I mean, I didn't really get hurt very bad. You're fine. We're as good as we can be right now, right?
From in the hallway. Hey, wait, do you guys having a meeting? Tazi wanders in.
D4 looks at Tazi as he walks in and looks at Karrell.
He is fine. His wounds will heal.
Okay, all right.
How are you feeling, Captain?
Karrell stands up from the chair and slides it back into the Tazi position.
I feel. And Tazi stops for a minute. He's looking out the front window at the hyperspace trails.
D4 waves his hand in front of Tazi's face.
I feel pretty good. A little worse for wear, but for the most part, it's, and then Tazi stops again, and his eyes focusing on the blinking light that's notating that ship A1 is like active.
Okay. D4 looks at Tazi.
How are you feeling after the combat, emotionally?
Are you still seeing blurple?
No, I was just this light. It's really bright.
Karrell reaches up and presses a button, and the cockpit polarizes, so the hyperspace lines are barely visible.
I'm emotionally, I'm fine. I mean, I've been closer to death before, so that's.
And how did that make you feel?
Almost dead.
Not physically, emotionally.
No, I mean, almost dead. I don't know, I had some downtime. I had a few drinks, thought about it a bit, decided I was worrying too much about it, and moved on. I guess I'm in the pre-drinking phase. Your fur is really, really shiny, Quinth.
Quinth isn't in here.
She is correct.
No, wait, Quinth.
That is Karrell you're looking at, and she has no fur.
Or
hair at all.
I'm gonna go have a couple protein sticks, and then I think I'm gonna lay down again.
Probably a good idea.
I think that's wise.
I'll go to the common area and sit down. I'll come and make you something in just a minute. I just need to make sure everything's here and that A1's kind of got it.
It sounds good, Captain. I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay, Captain. D4, can you make sure he gets there without falling over or discovering new colors?
Very well, but I believe A1 is handling things in the back.
And D4 puts his arm underneath Tazi's arm and puts his shoulder underneath your armpit.
I am confused. The drugs I gave you should have worn off hours ago. Did you take more?
I mean, I saw there were a couple hypos on the shelf. I thought they might help take the edge off.
Perhaps in the future you should consult me before you do that.
Well, I mean, they were the same color as the ones you were using on me before, so I figured they were the same thing.
They are not always. One of them was. Luckily, the other one will cure any male pattern baldness you may ever incur.
Wait. Where are you, D4? Are you trying to say I'm gonna grow? I'm gonna grow hair?
No, you will not lose what you don't already have.
Oh, okay.
That was my prototype for curing that. I will have to try to synthesize more later.
To be fair, D4, I've always, I thought it'd be interesting to have hair, right? I mean, it looks like it's a lot of work and upkeep, but also it's an interesting. You can style it different ways, change your look.
We can get you a wig just like Kazi had.
Kazi, that name sounds familiar. Anyway, I'm gonna go lay down.
Remember he got punched and the wig flew into the deep fryer?
I believe you. I'm gonna go.
Hey, this is Kazi. In finger guns?
D4, I think I'm gonna lie down.
Yeah, D4, please. Before he yurts all over the place.
Come, Captain.
D4 leads Tazi to the common area.
Karrell hits a couple buttons on the console and then follows.
Okay. D4 takes Tazi in there, lays him down on one of the benches, is preparing some food. Then a few moments later, Karrell walks in. Was Quinth still in there with Yara, or did you guys go to one of the rooms?
I think Quinth is there alone right now.
Okay.
I think she's eating something.
See, Quinth is in there having a few tincture shells and maybe a small drink.
Yeah.
You watch as D4 deposits Tazi on a bench, goes over and starts cooking some very basic food.
Oh, hey guys. I'm I'm glad you're all in here, and I assume A1, at least the ship is listening, yes?
They're doing something in the back. I'm not quite sure what. D4 said they were talking or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm getting off at Bothan with Yara. Cool? She pops more tinctus shells into her mouth.
I mean, we can hang around for a while. That's not really a problem, as long as there's no real Empire presence there. Be good to get some downtime.
I mean, you're welcome to do that. But I mean, like, I'm gonna stay there.
Oh.
Yeah. Or maybe not, depending on what Spynet says. But, I think that's the right thing for me to do.
Well, I mean, you need to take care of yourself and Yara. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, you would be welcome guests. I have a decently high standing in the family, and I haven't really spent much time on the planet in a long time. So, I don't think I can do this right now with I think I just need to go home.
We were going home?
Well, we're going to my home.
Yeah, Tazi, we're going to go to her home.
Oh, is Tazi not okay?
Oh, that's right.
He took a little bit of extra happy juice back there, and we need to get... You know what? I'm going to get some calf. That might help.
Bothawai, right?
Bothawi, yeah.
Bothawai.
Bothawi. We're saying the exact same thing.
Wait, Karrell, are you correcting the person that's from Bothawi?
No, we're both saying the exact same thing. What are you hearing?
I don't know. Can I have some tinctus shells?
Only if you drink the calf I'm going to make you. And Karrell's like making calf.
Yeah, of course, calf. Yep.
And Karrell tosses a sealed little bag of tinctus shells at Tazi, and it bounces off his head.
Wow, Tazi, you got some good stuff, didn't you?
I mean, if I wasn't supposed to take it shouldn't have been on the shelf near the med bay, near the bed.
And on the bright side, his male pattern baldness will be cured.
Yeah, it's a D4 said I might grow hair.
Oh, ew.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
That will be a look.
That's a good word.
Behind Tazi, D4 is shaking his head no.
But you also don't have to. You know, it's not a big deal. I don't think your species actually normally grows hair, so it's fine if it doesn't happen.
No, they don't. Our species normally doesn't grow hair. In fact, one of Mom's first businesses was a wig shop.
Why do your people feel the need to pretend to have hair? Is this like we feel lesser than other species?
No, it's not. It's not a lesser thing. Look, on Duro, it's kind of a...
Tazi waggles the muscles above his eyes, his eye ridge.
On Duro, it's kind of a thing, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Couples or thruples, groups, the wig play.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole thing.
Wig play? Well, I mean,
I've never worn one myself, but I think
I've done much weirder stuff, so.
That's a conversation for another time, I think.
Yeah, maybe when my daughter's not on board.
I think
maybe I should talk to your mom sometime, is what it sounds like.
Mom's a good person to talk to about all kinds of things.
Karrell sets 3 cups of calf down at the table, one in front of each of you, and then takes another spot.
At that,
it's hot.
D4 sets some broth in front of Tazi.
Captain, you shall drink all of this.
Oh, sure.
And Tazi takes both hands on either side of the bowl and just this.
D4 walks over and sits down next to Quinth. Reaches over and puts his hand on Quinth's hand.
I am glad that you are reunited with one of your children. May I suggest now is the time that you become her mentor and you help her succeed and learn from your failures so she does not repeat them.
Well, that means a lot of people are going to have to get real cool about a lot of stuff if I'm going to talk to her about my failures.
I do not mean your ex-partners. I meant your failures in Spynet.
Those aren't necessarily separate.
You have led an interesting life.
Karrell takes a sip of her calf and goes, "That's putting it mildly."
I have never studied one of such diverse background as yourself.
Well, is that what you kids are calling it now? Diverse backgrounds?
Is it permissible if I contact you to continue my studies of your life, as I find you interesting, and I believe you might refer to my feelings as friendship?
Oh, have your neural pathways become accustomed to me?
I believe so, as I find myself intrigued as to your continued success.
I mean,
Before we call that missing someone.
yeah, you don't have to, like, study me or whatever. Like, you can just call and we can just talk. Assuming I'm not undercover or something. I don't know if they're gonna send me back out though. Having
You're kind of wanted by the Empire now?
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's plastic surgery for that.
Wait, your face is made of plastic?
Well, this isn't my real face. You think this is the first time I've been wanted by somebody?
Well, no, you've told us about all of your, partners.
Not even close.
Oh, I must have missed stuff while I was in wild space.
No, they require a degree of emotional stability that I don't have right now.
Your face does?
No, Spynet.
Okay, sorry, I got a little confused when you were talking about having a plastic face. It was very weird.
You can have surgery to change your features, Karrell.
Okay, gotcha.
Which you might consider doing.
No.
You're wanted by the Empire way more than anybody else.
Yeah, and nobody touches the Leku.
You don't have to touch the Leku. You can still be your same species.
No, I like the way I look now.
I mean, remember when Tazi was hiding and he was orange?
No.
You can do something like that. That's pretty easy.
Tazi, you were orange?
Yeah, I was orange for a little bit. I mean, the Empire was looking for us. I thought maybe a color change would help, and D4 gave me an injection, and I was kind of an orange color for a while. My eyes turned greenish colors.
D4 says,
Technically, he has been orange, purple, green, and now we are working back to his blue. It is a lengthy process that is not all that unpainful.
Quinth looks concerned.
I mean, there's some aches and pains.
But I do have one question for you, Quinth.
Mm-hmm.
You said that I could call you if you are not undercover. May I ask whose covers you would be under? Tee-hee.
Well, a Spynet person doesn't usually kiss and tell.
So there is kissing.
Except their superiors.
You kiss your superiors?
Well, I mean, once, but...
I have much to learn about this humor that you talk about. Tazi, how are you feeling?
I mean, the calf and the broth are definitely helping. The tincture shells, where'd they go?
In your stomach.
Well, then there's the pack that I hit him with. It's on the floor next to you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm sure I'll be fine soon.
Without moving, you see the pack float up off the floor and onto the table in front of Tazi.
Wait, did I just do that?
Yes.
Whoa, Tazi! How did you do that?
Shh. Yes.
No, stop messing with me. That wasn't me. Karrell.
I'm sorry, it was just so easy. I haven't seen drunk Tazi in 2 years.
I'm not drunk.
Well, you're close.
I'm not drunk.
Well...
You're close. It's the same sort of level of silly.
You're impaired.
He actually kind of flies better when he's drunk.
I'm not impaired. So there's just one of me, I think. And Tazi feels his shoulders and his chest. No, there's just one of me. So I'm not in pairs. It's just one.
I think with that, A1 rolls in. Yeah, I know we're having a meeting. How come nobody told us? I mean, me.
D4 said you were in the back talking to A1. You're the other A1.
Yeah, we finished that talk.
Oh, okay. Let me catch you up real quick. Quinth and Yara are going to be we're going to Batuai, and we're going to drop Quinth and Yara there, and that is where they're going to stay. Quinth is going to get her face replasticed, and then we're going to figure out what's going on from there. But she's staying behind, and D4 can call her.
I mean, you can call me too, Karrell, if you want.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you.
I mean, any of you can.
And I mean, if you hear anything that could be of use, feel free to pass it on, and I will reciprocate.
I would really appreciate that.
No problem. I mean, look at you in Spynet. You already have a Jedi informant.
Yeah, except there might be a leak, and we're not sure exactly how Yara got found out. So until I'm sure that there's not a leak or they have been taken care of, I'm probably not going to tell anybody that you're a Jedi.
Well, I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm still going to give you information, and you're going to give me information, and we're going to talk. And it's going to be a whole thing. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. That's how information works. You have to talk most of the time.
I mean, yes.
Is anybody else like my body's not really tired, but like my heart is? Is that a thing?
Well, it has been a very stressful few days. I mean, there was the prison break. We all met up. We had to go get the ship. We had to steal a ship. We had to go get the Kralit's Fang. There was a Rancor. Then we went to Kolak, and we got the call, and we went right to FLORUM, and then there was the big fight. And then very lots of emotions. You haven't really slept much in the past 72 hours.
Yeah. I probably should.
There's a comm message that's popping up.
Hey, I got a message. Miss, I'm gonna take that in the cockpit. Is that all right?
Tazi, are you sure you can make it to the cockpit? You don't look very steady.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Quinth shakes her head at Karrell.
Karrell shrugs her shoulders.
No, I can make it. And Tazi stands up, wobbles for just like a second, and like puts his hands out in front of him, and he stabilizes. Trust me, I've had a lot worse hangovers than this. This is not bad.
Okay. Well, if you fall down, please yell for help.
You'll hear it.
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of like slide into a puddle.
We don't really have time to chat about this. I have a comm call, right? So I'm gonna take the comm call. And we can talk about my ability to walk a straight line while impaired afterward.
Okay.
I got it. Don't worry.
All right. Thanks,
A1's rolling next to Tazi and kind of slips his dome under one of Tazi's hands to kind of help stabilize him.
It's not that far, buddy, but I appreciate the help.
As they leave, D4 squeezes Quinth's hand and helps her up.
Perhaps you'd like to sleep in one of the quarters.
And he stands up and he holds Quinth's hand as they're trying to lead her towards that way.
Okay.
The camera stays on Karrell for a minute as she sits alone in the common room. She looks around and goes, "Don't worry, I guess I'll clean up." And she starts to clean up the common area.
And we cut over to Tazi and A1 walking onto the bridge of the ship. You might want to get that.
Yeah, I'm working on it. And Tazi grabs the back of the pilot's chair and like just kind of flops down into it and then reaches his hand over and slaps the comm button. Go for Tazi.
On the hollow emitter, you see Bree's head and shoulders pop up.
Tazi.
Bree. Bree, it's great to see you. Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yes, I am perfectly well. I got your message, and just in time, actually. There was some miscommunication, and you got there just in time. Are you okay? Is Quinth okay?
We're fine. Everybody here is fine. We're fine. Everybody's fine. How are you?
I am employed. Let's just put it that way. I just want to let you know that I did not kill her.
Good.
But she has been taken care of.
But she is still alive.
As far as I know, although the Empire takes a dim view of people who steal from them.
Okay.
They might have gotten an anonymous tip.
No, I mean, that's, justice is served in many ways, and maybe this is the way we'll have to see justice served for Zhaan.
Yes. If you need me, I actually am doing a couple jobs for her father. He did not take the news well, but he has retained me for a year, and I am doing some work for him as he tries to clean up what his wife had done.
Understood. Bree, stay safe. Don't get shot too much, and we'll be in touch.
Stay safe. note that both you and Quinth are wanted. There are many alerts out for you. Oh, and
She looks down.
I also found Sven. He was on the ship. So,
You have Sven?
well, he sort of has the run of the estate now, so...
Yeah, Zhaan would definitely want you to be taking care of Sven. We saw to the 12th brother.
I assumed it was you. I've heard... let's put it this way. The bounty on yours and Quinth's head went up by a factor of 8 in the past 2 days.
Oh, what's it up to now?
600,000 credits each.
Really?
Yeah. And as a professional courtesy,
And Bree gives just the hint of a smile.
I will not be taking those contracts.
I mean, A1, did you hear that? 600,000 credits, that's almost fake your own death money.
Yeah, we tried that before. It somehow didn't take. But who'd you take care of?
Well, we don't have to talk about it now. I'm just saying that's a lot of credits.
Anyway, I just wanted to let you know what had happened and the disposition of Zhaan's mother.
I appreciate it. I'll pass that on.
Were any of you injured during the fight?
Yeah.
No. I was stuck on the ship.
Well, A1, I'm sure there was a very valid tactical reason that you were on the ship.
Yeah. We were the runaway plan after all your training.
It's always good to have your most tactically keen person handling the retreat. I'm sure they trusted you with that because you were the only being for the job.
Kind of turns his dome and looks at Tazi. Yeah, we were.
Bree smiles again and then kind of lifts her hand.
Be well, all of you.
Quinth will be glad to hear that, I think. And I'm glad Bree's okay.
Did you doubt she would be?
Well, I don't doubt Bree's ability, but Bree also seemed like the type that could get themselves in hot water very quickly.
What would give you that idea?
Very funny. Let's go let Quinth and Karrell know.
Okay. All right, so we see the ship come out of hyperspace over Bothaway. Where does Quinth direct the crew to go to on her home planet?
I think that Quinth's family probably has... It's kind of like its own decent-sized town. So they probably have a place for ships to come down. It's basically a self-sufficient town.
Okay. See the ship land and the landing ramp opens up. We see the crew slowly work their way down the landing ramp.
Quinth will be the first one off when the ramp comes down, and Yara is right behind me. Before I think any words are spoken, I think Quinth comes down, and the Bothan that is waiting there, who looks probably between Quinth and Yara's age, and they exchange a handshake that is way too long, like longer than it probably needs to be a secret handshake. Hey there, Joshua.
And may I ask what name you are going by now?
Oh, just Quinth.
Quinth, then. Welcome home.
And Quinth will give kind of a little nodding bow.
Joshua will take a wider bow, and you see their ears fold down as well. I see you have brought family home as well.
Yes, and chosen family too.
Of course. Will you be staying?
Quinth looks at Yara and smiles. Yes, we both will.
Wonderful. I will travel ahead and have your rooms made up. And how many are with you?
2 humanoids and 2 droids.
Yes, we will make arrangements for all 4 of them.
Thank you.
Please feel free to come at your leisure. We will send people to pick up the bags. And Joshua takes another wide bow. The ears fold down once again, and then Joshua heads off toward the estate.
He has been the politest of our family for the past 10 years. Putting him in charge of this was genius. I will have to tell Auntie that she made a good choice.
All right, we see the crew walk into the family estate. I think everybody goes to their rooms and gets ready. And then I think we cut over to everybody having a meal.
Is it like everybody? Cubs are there, cousins are there, the adults are there, or is it all of us?
I would be willing to bet it's probably like a welcome home meal.
Yeah.
It's not like a grand feast, but it's definitely like as many as the family are around got together to welcome you home.
All right. So we cut over to a big celebration for Quinth and Yara being home. There's several of the family there, and the crew has an honorable spot at the head table. It's up on a little raised platform that everybody can see. As the party's going, let's just have each person kind of narrate a little scene that happens during this little celebration.
I think towards the beginning of this whole thing, Karrell looks a little overwhelmed because not only are there older Bothans and even younger Bothans than Quinth, there are at least 24 youngling Bothans running around with the hyperactivity of youth. There's a couple scenes where they're like wandering up to her and like talking to her, and she's looking distinctly uncomfortable. And then there's like another cut, and then there's some sort of dance going on, and Karrell's in the middle of all of these children, and there's this like weird Snoopy dance that's happening, and all the adults are like watching and laughing.
And the kids are definitely egging Karrell on.
Tazi sits down among a number of the older family members, or at least he thinks they're the older family members. They've got some silver and gray fur, maybe not moving as swiftly as some of the other Bothans. He gets very quick introductions, and his eyes are also drawn to the number of younglings running around. And Tazi's eyes soften a little, and he takes a drink of an unfamiliar beverage that has a pretty sweet, complex flavor. And he just finds himself kind of staring off a little bit, maybe thinking about what could have been. And then he's drawn immediately back into the moment as there is a little squabble between some of these younglings, and some of the elders at the table kind of raise their voices, and he gets to see some of that communal parenting in action. And then Tazi, just kind of again drawn back to the present, smiles and continues to watch and enjoy.
I think about halfway through the night is when the matriarch of the family shows up, so we call her Auntie. So this would be a Bothan who is very advanced in age and one of the most important members of the family. And she probably is not up for an entire night, which is why she's coming, a bit late. And both Yara and Quinth sort of, come over to her and do the traditional greetings and everything. And you see Quinth lean in and whisper something into the auntie's ear, and sort of we zero in on it, and we distinctly can see her whispering the word Rith, and the auntie's face is just drops. She was looking ecstatically happy, and then her face just goes completely sad, and she just shakes her head slowly. And then pats Quinth's shoulder and says, "We'll deal with that later."
We see A1 as he's been zipping around with the younglings. Every so often one climbs on his chassis and he rolls around with him on their back as they all laugh and giggle as he's just having fun, zipping around, playing with the kids. D4 seems to be off to the side. He doesn't seem to like to be in the middle. He's got a little data pad and he's just observing what everybody's doing, and every so often he's typing away on it. Every now and then he asks a question to one of the attendants that's moving food and different things around, and they look at him with puzzled questions and shake their heads and walk away, and he keeps recording different things.
I think at some point there is a Bothan conga line, and Quinth will grab D4 and bring him into the line and make him dance.
And as the conga line goes past the table, Karrell drops out of the middle of it and drops into a chair next to Tazi. Okay, they have way too much energy even for me.
Have you tried this? I think it's a fruit drink. I think it's made of fermented fruits. It's not strong.
The yellow or the purple?
It's very good. No, the reddish one here.
Oh, no, I'll have some.
Yeah, they've got a lot of it. They've got a lot of energy. It looks like they're glad to have family come home.
Karrell takes a sip and kind of gives a surprised look. It's like, this is really good. Yeah, that's the happiest I think I've seen Quinth. How are you doing, Tazi?
Tazi looks down at his glass and kind of, again, looks out at the family gathering, the group, and kind of turns a bit toward Karrell.
You know, family, it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Quinth got to come back to hers, and I think it's important that ours stays together.
Tazi, I didn't think you'd gotten force powers, because I'm pretty sure you just said exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, I just spent too much time around you, I guess.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe not enough.
Well, we can fix that. And Karrell leans up and kisses Tazi's cheek, and then just kind of like lays her head against his shoulder, and they watch the dance come back around again.
As the line passes, right at the very end is a very awkward-looking D4 who's trying to congo with them. Sees Karrell and Tazi, stops, and walks over. Sits down in a chair next to Tazi.
I am very confused by the randomness of this gathering, but everybody seems to be enjoying themselves. It is a great place to make contacts. I have made one who seems to want to hire us to move product from one place to another. I'm not sure what, as they have several different things they need moved. Perhaps that could be our next venture.
Well, Tazi, you did tell me when we first met that, you were recovering the Fang because you wanted to revive your family's trading company.
That's true. And, I mean, once we get rid of this whole Empire bounty thing, that's certainly up for grabs. Oh, I forgot to tell you the bounties, right? I told you that Quinth and I were worth 600,000 credits apiece.
That much?
Okay.
I wonder what my cut would be.
No. Hey, just watch it, because as much as I might be worth as a traitor to the Empire, I'm fairly sure Jedis are worth a lot more.
Okay, you have a fair point there. Why don't we'll call it even.
Let's call it even. Yeah, I think that's good.
And the camera fades as Tazi and Karrell keep joking with each other, and we see the conga line moving off.
As the conga line cuts off, you hear D4 just say,
We have been invited to stay for a few days. What shall we do in our free time?
and we fade out. What is everybody doing over the next couple days?
I think there's a scene of Karrell being shown to her room later that night because she's dressed exactly the same. And Tazi's room is across the hall. She goes into her room and it's amazing in this room. So it's not a huge room, but there is an ensuite hot tub, like
nice,
like jacuzzi type thing. And Karrell doesn't waste any. The door hasn't even closed, and she's like taking her clothes off, and you just barely see clothing falling to the ground as the door closes and the jets turn on.
Okay. What is Tazi doing with his few days off?
Tazi, I think, is still taking it easy, recuperating. He doesn't know very much about Bothans and their customs or their cultures. So I think he is, unlike his usual self, maybe Tazi is getting a little more into trying to experience what it's like to be part of the Bothan family unit. Helping out with chores, helping maybe take care of the kids, or kind of just tagging along with things. There is a gleam in his eye in regards to this time and kind of his overall demeanor over the next couple of days that is different from the Tazi I think that most everybody usually sees. There's a lightness to his steps. There's a lightheartedness that hasn't been there for a very long time.
I think that we see Quinth giving a version of memorial service, and it looks like she's giving a eulogy, and a large picture of Rith up front, and the entire family is there and sort of just as happy and joyful as the welcoming celebration was. It's just as mournful. Rith was a greatly beloved member of the family, and I think later we see something that kind of echoes it, but it's quite a bit less formal, with just sort of the crew and a picture of Zhaan as they sort of have their own final saying goodbye ceremony to her.
We see A1 as he spends most of his 2 days zipping around the complex with various children of different ages, and he keeps assisting them with different pranks and just having a good time with the kids. D4 spends a lot of his time just asking questions of different people and spending a lot of time typing on his datapad. At one point, he actually goes and takes a nice oil bath because somebody had recommended to him he needs to take care of himself. And then I think after a couple days, the group is brought together for a nice breakfast on like one of those little sun porches with a nice table. You see the sunrise setting up through the sunrise is beaming through the windows. A1 just looks at Tazi. So, Captain, what do we do next?
Little buddy, that is that's a good question. I mean, we still have the Empire to worry about, obviously, but I don't know.
I mean, we have a lot of options out on the rim. You know, if we can both keep a low profile, we can probably find jobs, find work, or even, stand up against the Empire where we can.
Well, Spynet does a lot of work on the Outer Rim with the huts and whatnot, and we're always looking for good crews.
I mean, I guess it's up to you, Tazi. You're our captain. What do you want to do?
Stay together, no matter what else. We don't part again.
Deal. And Karrell reaches out and puts a hand on your shoulder and the other hand onto A1's dome, and then looks at D4. I don't have a hand for you. Hey, Tazi, can you do that thing with the...
D4 walks over. He set his bottom left hand on A1's dome, his top left hand on Karrell's shoulder, and one of his right hands on Tazi.
I agree. It has been beneficial for us to stay together. I do think, though, that it is time for us to say...
And he looks over at Quinth.
See you later. As I believe goodbye is not appropriate for this.
I can always send work your way when I hear of it.
Yeah. And if we get information, we'll send it your way. Our story isn't over yet. Okay, that was 8 seasons. That was 89 recording sessions of anywhere between 8 hours and an hour and a half of recording. 7.5, almost 8 years.
Oh my gosh. You're right. We did record for 8 hours at a time at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, at the beginning, yeah. We were recording once a month for 8 hours. And it's been a long road, and this is not me breaking into song. I just want to thank everybody for going along on this trip with us. Redemption's been a big part of my life and our lives, I'm sure, for this time. And I just want to thank everybody who's listened, everybody who's supported us, everybody who's joined our Discord, everybody who's retweeted. Thank you. It means a lot.
I'd like to thank not just the fans, of course them, but also my fellow players, May included. Thank you so much for letting me start at a later date and letting me experiment with a new character as well. It was
many accents.
And many accents. And the truth is, I just couldn't keep one steady. That's what happened. But I really loved playing Isla and Quinth. So thank you all for your support. Thank you for playing with us. And, well, thank you, I guess, players and Chris for playing with me and or letting me play with you. Boy, this sounds dirty.
I'll allow it.
And thank you to the fans for supporting us. And I'm going to stop talking now.
Michael, how does it feel to be the only member of the entire cast, other than Nate, who only got to play one character for the entire time?
Well, so you say only got to play one character, and
one main character.
No. But I'll put it this way: playing Tazi has been, I don't know. Tazi is a character I've connected to on a very, very many levels, and I just couldn't imagine not playing Redemption as Tazi. I feel like, I've gotten to play as other characters. I've gotten to voice other characters, certainly. Sometimes important characters, sometimes throwaway side characters that were just fun for a moment or a bar fight. But I mean, out of all the characters I've played in my life, Tazi has been the one that has emotionally connected to me the most. And it's been an honor to play with the group of you. I've cried more real tears around this table with the group we have here. Kaylee with you, with Chris, Andi with you, with May, and with Nate. I've cried more real tears with you as a group than I've cried with some family members. And that's how I see this group. People talk about family a lot. People talk about, found family, and everybody here, this is, what you're hearing when you hear us play is you're hearing a found family get to explore and have adventures together around a table. And yeah, I might have only played one character. I played Tazi, but Tazi was who I was meant to play.
Tazi is so different than when he started out.
Oh yeah.
He's really grown and changed.
Well, yeah, and that's the great thing about playing for as long as we did, through as many things as we did, and getting to experience as much as we did as our characters.
Yeah.
There in some productions, some games, you kind of have to do artificial growth. But I feel like all the growth that we did as characters, we did in front of everybody. In front, as part of the game, in front of listeners, in front of our audience. Like, our audience got to hear these characters grow as people, as beings, and I will forever be proud of that. I will forever be proud of everybody here and what we've done, and hopefully what we may continue to do together in the future.
And Chris, as the GM and every single droid in the Star Wars universe, masterfully you played them, by the way. Have any last words?
For an idea I brought to a table with a few people 8 years ago and said, hey, I think that we can tell a really great story and do it our way. It's been, I've had ups and downs, as every show does. Extremely proud of the fact that we made it through all 8 seasons and still have the connections we do, and the friendship and the bonds, and as Michael said, that chosen family feeling. This is the right time for us to end this part of the story and move on to other things. I'm extremely proud that we've done this. I still brag about the show 8 years later. I'm still grateful to you guys for playing, indulging some of my crazy ideas at times and writing along some of the storylines I came up with, and helping me at the times when I said, I really am blanking on where to go with this. You guys made it easy to GM. Sometimes not so easy, but I think that's just every game. I'm also incredibly grateful for everybody that we've met because of the podcast. I've made so many amazing friends that I never would have met if it wasn't doing this show. I mean, Andi is a great example, but all the other podcasters I've met, all across the world even. I can't think of another way I would have ever sat down and had a 2-hour conversation with somebody from England about Star Wars if it wasn't for this. Or run a game for somebody who lives in New Zealand and somebody that lives in Scotland at the same time. I got to experience a lot of really unique things that I wanted to do, and if it wasn't for the podcast, would have never known how to do it. And probably would have never come out of my little social shell if I hadn't had this. So for me, I think I've grown as a GM, as a player, and as a person. And I'm forever grateful to everybody who's played in our games, everybody who's listened, and everybody that's ever supported us. Thank you for going on this journey with us, and I can't wait to see our next journeys.
And just a couple of last things. Thank you, Kaylee, for editing. And
yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Editor extraordinaire.
And of course, thank you, Chris, for GMing.
I'm going to thank all of you also for putting up with my incredible anal retentiveness about microphone etiquette, continuity, and dealing with my whiny bullshit when I got stressed out and overworked. Thank you.
Hold on, let me make some mouth noises for you.
Kaylee, you can choose to cut this if you want, but I think we're all happy to know that your anus is retentive.
Well, like, just a little bit anal retentive, just a little. Not a lot, a little bit.
You guys could have just said, "You're welcome." That would have been just fine.
Hey, we already thanked you.
Yeah, you're welcome. A little.
All right.
You thanked it's the mutual thanking society. You thanked us, we thanked you. Everybody's thanking everybody. We're all grateful for each other.
And with that, Redemption's tale comes to an end. Question mark. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and may the Force be with you all.
And also with you.